and I'm so grateful to be here because I'm going to share what I learned in this video and also what I learned from my students, what I expect, and the most important, what I learned from myself. I had to mention that when I started this beautiful career, I never expect that it's going to be really difficult and also demanding. Teaching is not easy. Teaching is a big job that you have to be really careful, and also it's a big responsibility. So we're going to start with my first time teaching. First time teaching was in INSA. INSA is a public school here in Santa Ana. That is a good place, but to be honest, I was so scared because it was my first time teaching. So I was scared because I heard so many bad comments about that place. I remember that most of the people told me that it's dangerous, people there are rude, they are like had bad attitude, and the first time teaching it was not a good. I remember that I introduced myself and I was so happy with my students. I remember that I was like, hey, how are you, students? And all the students have a bad attitude. They have like bad face, they were angry. I don't know. I think that the thing is that they were teenagers, and I understand that age. They are like angry with the world, they are like busy with his own problems, and I understand. But in the second lesson and the last lesson, they were really different. They have a different attitude. They were happy. I remember that I did activities so they could work and don't be afraid. I remember that one of my favorite activities was finish the lyric because I love music, and also the students choose the song and they work. And the last lesson, I remember that I was really grateful with them because they gave me that confidence to still working on my teaching classes. I remember that I gave like candies, and I gave advices because they were start the university. But I was so happy because they learned, and also I learned from them to don't take things personal, because sometimes the first experience is not the best, but you learn from those mistakes. Second time that I was teaching was in Unicaes, my beautiful university. But to be honest, this was a challenge for me, and I struggled too much because this time I have a teacher who is, kind of criticize everything that I do. So I remember that most of the time she was like criticize everything about me, how I move, if I did eye contact, if I did CCQ, everything. I remember that, and I was so scared for that, and I had to prepare my own worksheet. The lesson plans took me like 8 hours, to be honest, 8 hours, and she always she was like criticizing my objective, everything that she could see. And to be honest, I'm so grateful with her. I'm going to mention her name, but I'm so grateful with that teacher because she gave me good advices about how I have to, improve my own teaching, and that helped me a lot. In this time, my students were like difficult because they were really shy, but I always try to help them. I remember that I have a group that they were really difficult because they were like talking all the time. But in the last lesson, I talked with them, and they were really nice because they listened to me, and I did many activities that I did work. I remember that the teacher gave me compliments about my activities, and that made me happy. My last time teaching was in Unicaes on English Access. So I remember that I think this time teaching was totally different, and I enjoyed it because I had a big level of confidence, and also I improved mistakes that I did in the past. even though I have mistakes this time with the internet, with the devices, because the internet didn't work, my computer it wasn't working. Then teacher Rosie noticed that, but now I will improve those mistakes in my next lessons. But this time it was different. I remember that I had students from 13, 14, 15 years old. So I noticed that they really want to learn English. They were really happy, and also they participate and they have enthusiasm.